Hi, good morning, Victoria and Mohammed. I think Mohammed is sick this morning. Victoria usually take my class online, and I'm currently at Manhattan campus alone. Unfortunately, but I am giving you the lecture by recording. All right, all right. As I posted the lecture note today, the slides. So we'll look at DDL and DML command line, data definition language and data manipulation language. Last week we looked at EL model. So given this EL diagram, we can convert it to the relation models, relation schemas. So these are the relation schemas. EL diagram is the outcome of conceptual modeling, whereas the relation schema sets are the outcome of logical modeling. So from conceptual modeling to logical modeling, there is a conversion, the mapping process from EL model to relational database schema. So let's assume the student has these three columns: CWID, name, and major. And we have courses, title, CRN, credit, and instructors. This is simple design because each student takes one or more the courses. So enrollment has a CWID, and also each course can be offered or can be taken by many students. So we have also CWID here. So for this relational database schema, now I am trying to create database and populate data. This is just as simple, but you can make it a lot better with me. So without having to show all this slide, why don't we go directly to hands out? Okay, so here is the terminal. All right, for Mac users, you need to go to USR local MySQL bin. All right, so I have there, and if you want to list any files starting with the M, so M star, then I have here MySQL. Remember that in order to open MySQL database, then you need to do /MySQL and -u root and -p. Wait a minute. Um, the reason it was not working because I didn't start up my MySQL. So I started up and I enter. All right. Show databases. Then we have those databases available. What I want to do, I want to drop college, drop database, college, because it was, it is there, but we are working to create a database called college again. All right, show database, show databases, then there is no colleges. So what we need to do is create, don't forget that currently I have all the privileges because I logged in as a root, right? D-root is a super user. So I can do anything. So create database and then college. Once we have this, then we will, I'm not sure if mine is being recorded. My audio is recorded right now. How can I see that? Is my audio recorded? So I need to make sure if my audio is recorded. I checked my audio. So audio, I think it is being recorded. Okay. So I want to show databases again. Then I have colleges. What we want to do is we want to create all the tables and we want to populate the data, and we want to issue a little bit of the SQL statements today. And then I guess the user privileges, I think we'll do a little bit of those again. I think we'll do the user privileges. Well, we'll see what we want to do. Okay, not everything, too much, not too much today, because you need to follow with me step by step. Okay, that is a database. So we need to first create, I believe we have a student and a course, and in between enrollment, right? So create table. Let's do students first. Student has a CWID, which is integer. I want to set this CWID my primary key, and name, that is a text. If it is not text, then you can do varchar variable character, maybe 20. That'll be okay. But I am going to use simply as a text, and then major also text for now, and semicolon, no data. So I need to first choose database, right? So I want to use colleges. So within the college, I want to create the student table. Hit enter. So table is created. So if I want to see the schema of the table student, then the language is describe and student. Then student has 3 fields: CWID, name, and major. Type, correspondingly. And CWID is a primary key that is set as we did here. Okay. All right. And then we want to do create table course. By the way, someone may ask why we need to always end with the semicolon. That is because SQL statements, DML or DL, may be longer, and it should be much nicer if we write it in multiple lines, right? So I want to hit enter, then it doesn't immediately execute, but give me the next line. This command identifies the end of my database statements only if I hit semicolon at the end. Okay, so this course has a course title that is also text. I can hit enter for the next field, next attribute. So CRN, I think that is integer again, and the credit, that is also integer, and instructor, that is text. By the way, I forgot to set the primary key for CRN. That's okay. Here, right after the pair of attribute name and type, I indicated the primary key, but we could do that separately so that we have the primary key and open and close parentheses. There we can do CRN. Okay, and then finally end of that, close the parenthesis, and then we have to end with the semicolon. If you don't do semicolon, then it gives me another lines until I enter the semicolon. Hit semicolon and enter. Then I have another table successfully created. So if I enter course table, then I know CRN, there is a primary key, right? No means null value for CRN is not allowed. Okay, any CRN number, or more clearly, if any students wants to be in our student table, to do that, students needs to have first the CWID. It's not allowed if some students come and say, hey, I want to be in your table with no student ID. No, that's not possible. That's what we are saying here. Okay, so two tables are created. Finally, we will create enroll. So create table enroll, and enroll has CWID, so it gives us who takes what course, right? So CWID integer, and CRN also integer, and then we need to say CWID and an integer needs to, the values for student ID and values for the course number should be first available in its own table. In other words, students cannot register any courses that is not available in the database, of course, right? And also, any courses cannot be taken by students who is not in our database. So student first to be in the table, and course needs to be first in the table, and then the course number and CWID should be always checked by saying here foreign key. So I want to do here for foreign key, first of all CWID. CWID first should be defined in references student. In the student table, which one specifically referred? Again, that's CWID. Okay, and then we can enter the close parenthesis and semicolon. Oh no, we need to make one more. So foreign key CWID is the reference to students, and then another foreign key CRN should be reference to course. Course again CRN. Hit enter, and then I want to make a close parenthesis and semicolon. Hit enter. Nice. So that is created. So let's see that relation schema enroll. So relation schema enroll, it says CWID in integer, null possible, but yeah, I should. Well, right now not possible. we can change this to later, or maybe can we do it? I think, yeah, if you want to change this, let me try with alter command, alter table, and then we can say table name, enroll, and modify CWID, column name, and then we can say not null, semicolon. Oh, it's not working. So I think modify. Let me try to modify or change. I think modify. And the column name CWID. and not null. Or alter, modify CWID not null. Or we can do modify CWID that is integer and not null, and reference foreign key references student CWID. So I'll figure that out. But anyway, so right now we have show tables, 3 tables. So now we want to insert. So first thing that we want to insert into course, and then title, CRN, credit, instructor, and values. Then you can do coding 111 3. John is teaching coding 111. All right, and semicolon. Then that is a successfully. We can insert another. Reason that we have here this guy, we already know this is the title, CRN, credit, instructor. In that order we created it, right? So if you want to insert the record values in the same order and all the attributes, then you do not need to do this. You simply do values, and then you can do operating system and 5553 and maybe Adam. That should work, right? So if you want to see another way that you could do, for example, course, I want to change the order of this. Then you need to do title, instructor, CRN, and credit. I want to change the order of the attributes, which is different from the way that we defined for some reason. Then you need to spell out all of this, and then values, hit enter. Then you need to be very careful. Say title database, instructor John, and then CRN maybe 520, and then credit 3 credit hours, close parenthesis and hit the semicolon and enter. Right, very nicely we inserted the 3 records. If you want to see all of those from the course list, then you can do select star from course, that is the table name. Then you can have all of those. Coding in CRN, the CRN number 111, taught by instructor John, and so on and so forth, right? If you want to check only who teaches what, then instructor and title, only 2 columns in different order. That is also possible. So John teaches coding, and so on and so forth, right? And then we could do, someone may, we want to insert into student values, someone may want to see, hey, I want to enter the new records in the same order that that was created, defined, but multiple records at a time. You could do that, okay? Let's first try one records, and then we will look at others, okay? So the student ID, say 1, 2, 3. In order to do that, the best way is you need to describe student table first, and then insert into student values in that order. So CWID 1, 2, 3, and name Brown, and major computer science. You can enter like this, right? Or you can do multiple. So I want to make 1, 2, 4 Chris, also CS. Guess what? If I do this, can it be entered, inserted? Well, first, it may have a problem because we already had 1, 2, 3 here, right? But we set 1, 2, 3 CWID is a primary key. So 2 of these cannot be entered. But if I do the same ones, enter, this is different. Brown, not anymore Brown, Bob. Only the CWID is the same. Hit enter. Then there is an error. Duplicate entry 1, 2, 3 is not allowed, right? So we have to do there's a 1, 2, 4. At the same time, can we enter together with that the second and third and fourth, whatever, right? So we can have 199 and Chris, and CS, and one more. Oops, because I have this. Enter. I have one more, maybe 144. What's the Paul? And it's math. And another one, maybe 133. Dave and CS. All right. Enter how many records that we want to insert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 records together. So at the end, semicolon, and hit enter. Then all of those, 4 records are recorded. So select star to make sure if it is recorded. Select star from student, semicolon. Then we have 5 students so far. So 123, 124, 133, 144, 199, and then select start from course. Then we have those. Now we want to insert into table enroll, okay, and values. If I want to do the enroll, the first attribute is CWID and second attribute is course number, right? So CWID 123 takes course number 111, and 123 takes course number 520, and then 124 takes course number 111, and 133 takes 555. Hit enter. Maybe 144 takes 520, and semicolon and enter. That is okay, right? But inserting to values, let's say 123 wants to take something not available. Let's say 505 semicolon. Remember that student ID 123 is okay, but the CRN 555, because that's a foreign key, which means the value should first exist on the course table, but 505 is not available. See what happens. Hit enter, then it says that is foreign key constraints violations, right? So if this guy wants to do more course than 555, right? So if you want to see select start from enroll, then that many courses registered by the students. All right. So what I want to do so far, who made this all? This is done by the root, right? So root can also create user credentials. So create user, and I would say user John Yoon at localhost identified by, and I would say John Yoon. So first, this John Yoon, that is the user ID, and that user ID is allowed to log in from localhost. If you want to allow from some IP address, then you can say 192 dot star. Then anything from 192 dot star dot star dot star, that also can be possible. But here, localhost, and identified by, that is a reserved word, and at the end we need to say there is another that is the password. So this is a login ID and this is a password. In order not to forget, I want to make Jyoon and Jyoon, okay, which is not a good idea. But for our practice, I want to make this, okay. So create user credential is created, and hit enter. So that is created. How can you see it? You can get it from databases. I believe that is MySQL. So select star from MySQL users. MySQL is database. So database name dot table name users and semicolon. Oh, it's not. Let's see, MySQL, or maybe information schema. Then maybe in information schema. It's not. Use MySQL database. Oh, MySQL. And show tables. Oh, there's a user. It should be user, not users. So user. Hit enter. User, unknown table user. Oh, that is because I said this information. But if I do MySQL from other database, but I am already in MySQL, so we don't need to do MySQL.user. Simply user is fine. But let's do MySQL.user. Then we have 5 of those. So let's see. So user login. This is already a user. So let's do select user from user, semicolon. Then I have here Jayun, right? That is created. So root was there. That's what we used to use. What I want to do is, I want to quit this and try to log in as Jayun. Okay, so I want to do the same thing, but Jayun, and hit enter. Jayun, I am there. Show databases. Right now, I cannot even see the college database, because I do not have any privileges. Okay, by default, only if any user once created with no attributes cannot do anything but some of the database, information schema and the performance schema, only 2 databases, not other application database like we created the colleges. So what we need to do is we need to ask root. So, hey root, give me the privileges, so that we can say then this root can give the privileges. One of the powerful privileges is we can give the full privileges. For example, grant all privileges on star to Jayun at local host semicolon. which means we want to give grants. We want to grant all the privileges on any database, any table to John Yoon. Hit enter. Then John Yoon can do anything. Okay. And also revoke is possible. If you want to revoke all privileges from John Yoon host, maybe the language issue. I think I need to do privileges on star. Oops. Revoke all privileges. Excuse me. Check the manual. There's the right syntax. Near that. Oh, we need to put here from. Okay. So once this is done, then again, once all the privileges given to John Yoon, and I revoked it, right? So John Yoon does not have anything, but I want to give grant select privileges, grant select, grant select on the college to Jaeyoon at host and semicolon. No database selected. So college dot star. College database. So John Yoon can select, but John Yoon cannot insert. See what happens. Right now, current user is root, so I want to quit and then re-enter as Jaeyoon, and I want to use college. See here, show databases. Now I can see the college, right? Even though I have only the privileges of selections on college, then I can see the college. So use college. Reading table, you cannot turn off. There is the changes. So show tables, so I can see the tables. So select start from course, I can see it. But if I want to insert into course values, say mobile tech, title $5.99, and taught by, I would say, Nathan. Hit enter. What happens? Because Jae-yoon currently does not have the privileges, so Jae-yoon cannot insert, but Jae-yoon can select only. We already showed the selections, right? But insertion prohibited. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is prohibited, right? Because right, no privileges. So we need to come back this, quit, and ask root to grant insert on college and particularly course, and college dot course and enroll. So Jae-yoon can select all the tables in college, but Janyun can insert the values into the course and enroll table only. Janyun cannot insert any new students there. Okay, insert on that, and to Janyun at localhost and semicolon. Okay, what happens? College insert on, I think, one at a time. If we do this, it should work, right? So we do enroll again. Enroll, fine. And then this root will quit. And then again, Jae-yoon can come in, and then use college. And then this time, Jae-yoon wants to insert into course values. Remember that there's a mobile tech and course number 599 and instructor Nathan, and then hit enter. Column counter, course. Oh, there's a credit, so we need to put here 3 credit hours. Hit enter. That is entered, right? So we can also select start from course, so that the new ones created mobile tech 599 and Nathan. But if Nathan wants to do similar things to the students, values, student has say 677 student ID and name Jason and major cyber semicolon, then definitely Jae-yoon does not have the privileges to insert into particular this table students. This is not allowed. It says insert command denied to user, right? But insert into enroll possible. Enroll values, say another students 1 to 4 takes new course 599. That is also possible. All right. So John-Young can select anything from the database colleges. So now let's try a couple of more simple SQL statements. I want to find out who takes what course. So give me select student name and then course title from, say, by the way, if you look at those three tables carefully, student name is available in the student table, and course title is available on the course table. Enroll, that is matching between student and course table. Enroll table does not have student name. It does not have course title, but it has only CWID and CRN. Those two numbers, not the names, like student name or course title. But if this guy says, I want to have student name and course title, then what we need to do is we need to join them together. So from student to enroll, and from enroll to course. In that way, we may be able to see who takes what. Literally, student name and course title. So this is called join operation. Okay? So if you want to join like this, then what happens? This does not show to you the actual the reality of the courses taken by students. Rather, this displays all possible mapping among those three tables. All possible. Right now we have 4 courses, and then how many enrollment? 4 courses. And 6 enrollment, and then students maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We entered one more students, maybe, or yeah, 5. Yeah, 5 students and 6 enrollment, and then course we created one more, so 4 courses. Only those. So because 6 enrollment, if we select this, then it should give me the 6 records. So who takes what course? Enrollment tells us only 6 records, right? But if we do this, then it gives me all possible mapping. Let's say how many students? Yeah, 5 students, 4 courses, and 6. Then multiply all of those. Then what happens? maybe 5 times, 6 times, and then 4 over 100. See what happens if we enter this. Yeah, 140 rows came up. Who takes what? Bob takes database. See here, Bob takes coding, Bob takes database, Bob takes operating system, Bob takes mobile text. This doesn't reflect the reality, right? Rather, it displays all possible combinations. To avoid that, we need to have here where the CWID in enrollment should be the same as the CWID in students. So where again, I want to make here some short name like alias. So S for students, and E for enrollment, and course for courses. In that way, when I say here student CWID is the same as enroll E.CWID. Okay, so we need to connect them for realities, and also from enrollment to the course. So E.CRN should be the same as course.CRN. If we have this, then we will have the reality, the real output. Okay, the returning tables will reflect the reality. See what happens? Only 7 rows, right? Why 7 rows? Because select from enroll, that is also 7 rows. So, but this guy does not show who and what title. In this case, Brown takes coding, Brown takes database, Bob takes coding, Dave takes operating systems, Paul takes database, Brown takes operating systems, and so on and so forth. Okay? So you can practice so many things. If you want to see also, I want to see what courses Bob takes. Then you need to have here these 3 conditions, 2 conditions, CWID equals to CWID and CRN equals to CRN. Those 2 conditions are the conditions used for joining operations. In order to make the joining operations for reality, then you need to have that join operations, join conditions. The next condition is our business conditions. What I mean by that there is student name should be Bob. I want to see what courses are taken by Bob. So s.name equals Bob, then I can see only Bob takes coding and mobile text. What someone wants to see, I want to see any courses taken by students whose name start with B. Then you need to do B and %sign. Okay, then it gives me, okay, in this case it should not say equal but like. Then it shows me Brown takes coding, and so on and so forth, right? If you put here star rather than percent, then 0. Star means star represents one character. Percent sign represents as many arbitrary number of characters. So if we want to see, I want to have 3 characters, but starting with the B, which is the Bob's case, then you need to do B star star. Then star star, double star may not work. Okay. See what happens. Oh, star is not working. Let's see, in that case, star is not working. But thing is this, SQL statements, of course it was standardized. The recent standard SQL, I think that is only 3 version of standard. The first version was defined, I think 1983, and then 89, and then some SQL statements are standardized before 2000, the year 2000. And almost all DBMS reserve that standardized SQL statements. At the same time, all the DBMS try to add a lot more, okay? Because standard is a minimum set. Anything over that can be added. So standard does not try to include much. Only select, update, whatever we will look at so far, right? Some of these only available on MySQL. Many others may be available on Oracle databases, things like that. So this star is not working in this case. But percent sign works, percent sign. So instead of this, if we say percent, then it gives me, again in this case, like then Bob's case. I think I should stop for today's lesson, today's exercise. If I give me too much, then you may have some headache. So we'll continue this because none of you are attending with me right now. I'm not sure how much that you can follow, but yeah. Here's what I want to do. We're not going to meet next 2 classes at Manhattan, okay? So first meeting, the face-to-face first meeting will be the 3rd week from today. Keep in mind, I will post that as well. Don't worry about it. Okay. Have a good the rest of the day.